Hey everybody, welcome back to Brit's Books and Beauty. If you are new here, my name is Brittany. If you are returning to me, thanks again for checking back in. Today we are going to be trying out a new primer. This is the E.L.F. Matte Putty Primer. It's not necessarily new, it's just new to me. I have not tried it yet. If you're interested in my do today, we'll be uploading another video testing out the method for heatless curls. So don't forget to check out that video. And without further ado, let's get into the makeup. So I've already moisturized my face and I did a little bit of a depuffing cream under my eyes. I will link a picture of that into the video. On top of that, I did place my eye moisturizing cream. It's kind of a serum more than a cream. And then I did use a firming and toning serum on my face, all products that are pretty light. So I feel like they work well under my makeup. So I will take some pictures and get those embedded into the video so you guys can see what I do to prep my face. So moving on, I'm going to go ahead and try out this E.L.F. Matte Putty Primer. And it has, when I first got it, I kind of swirled it around a little bit with my finger. It has very creamy texture and it almost is like a lotion really in this pot. Okay, so you guys, I think just from other videos you've watched, know that I used to do my eyes last. So I would do my base first and get that all settled and then do my eyes. I've kind of changed up the way that I do things. Number one, fallout. A lot of the palettes that I'm using have a lot of fallout, which is not necessarily an issue. It's just that it does tend to mess up your base. Number two, I did kind of get a little bit of advice from watching a Robert Welsh video, who again is a professional makeup artist that has a YouTube channel, so check him out. He's super awesome. And he kind of advised that based on reviewing other YouTubers, that sometimes it's nice to get your primer and everything on and let all of those products, your moisturizer, your primer, warm up on your face and kind of sit together. Because I'm wondering if some of my issues in finding the perfect primer are that I'm applying the primer and then immediately going in with my foundation. So I have started to kind of experiment with the idea of just laying my products down and letting them sit while I do the rest of my face. So that is what I've been doing. So I'm going to try that method with the Putty Primer as well. So we're going to go ahead and prime our eyes and get going with our eyes today. I have been using the E.L.F. Putty Eye Primer, which is kind of what made me interested in trying the Putty Face Primer, because I'm really liking the eye primer. It is a little bit drier in terms of an eye primer. Normally I use something that's a little wetter, more tacky, but I'm enjoying the results that I'm seeing with this Putty Primer for my eyes. So I'm going to continue to use it because I think it does, it's nice and thick. I have very veiny eyes, so it's nice to have a lot of coverage on those. Okay, eyes are primed. So I thought today that we could kind of try out an actual halo eye. So I will be using that She's Got Solstice palette for the halo eye, but I'm actually going to pair it with this Jaclyn Hill Morphe Dark Magic palette. I really like it. It's one of my favorites to use. Just absolutely stunningly dark, rich colors. Beautiful, beautiful palette. They apply just beautifully. And then of course we're going to be incorporating that She's Got Solstice palette. Another quick peek at that. I'm still just absolutely in love with this palette. It is gorgeous. My main issue with it is it's very pastel, it just is very light. And as you guys know, I do prefer something a little bit smokier. So we're going to see what we can do, pair them together and get something cute going here. And so let's go ahead and dive in with I'm going to start with the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette to do my outer and inner corners. And I'm going to start by using this color right here, Trickery. And I'm going to use that on the outside and inside corners of my eyes. So I did forget to lay down a transition shade, but we're gonna see if we can kind of use that as a blending shade at the very end. So kind of doing things a little backwards today, sorry. Whenever I get something new going, I always tend to forget a step. That's my bad. The transition shade should have gone down first. Okay. So what I have done is I've put that dark color in the inner and outer corners of my eyes, and I've kind of connected them. I am going to take an actual blending brush and kind of blend all that out. But you want to leave the center of your eye uncovered because that's where our halo eye is going to come in with that beautiful kind of greeny color from the She's Got Solstice. And I'm thinking of kind of lining it with a little bit of silver just to make it pop. So right now I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm going to kind of blend out the rough edges of the very top of my eye. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this kind of creamy shade right here called Poof. I think I'm going to use that to kind of help blend out just a little bit. That looks pretty good, and we can clean a lot of this up if we need to with concealer and foundation. So in the very center of this eye, I think I'm gonna go in with that greeny color Mars from the She's Got Solstice palette. So that one in that corner, that shade there. And I'm going to pat it on with my middle finger. Shimmer shades definitely apply better with a finger kind of patting motion versus using a brush. You get way more pigment, way more payoff. I think that went really good. So the next thing I'm gonna do is kind of line that green with some silver from the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette. And then I'm going to take my brushes again and kind of blend, take a little bit more of that trickery color and blend my edges of this line so it doesn't look quite so hard. So that's gonna be my next step. And it always looks so rough starting out, but I promise it will get blended beautifully. So right now I'm going to take this silver from the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic called Power Cut. I'm just going to line my green with that a little bit, and then we will do a little bit of blending. Okay, I think that came out really prettily. I really like that dark green kind of leading up and blending into that just pop of bright green shimmer. I think that came out really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye off camera, and then when I come back, we'll be ready to get our base on. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. All right, you guys, we are back. Both eyes are done and we are ready to move forward with our base. I'm really loving the way that these eyes turned out. I did on this eye actually start with that transition color, that creamy color, the Poof of the Dark Magic palette. I started with that, so I think that helped a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and move on with our base. The foundation that I've been gravitating towards, and I don't know why, is the Maybelline Super Stay. It claims to be a 24-hour foundation. I just really love the way that it looks on my skin. So it is a full coverage foundation. I use the color 105 Fair Ivory. This thing is filthy. I use it all the time. So it is a well-used foundation. I apologize for the condition that it is in. And I watched one of the YouTubers that I follow, Soph, YouTube handle Soph Does Life. I watched her do her foundation like this, where she kind of smeared a little bit on random parts of her face and then blend it. So I decided to give it a try. Okay, so I am pretty happy with that coverage. It doesn't, I mean, anytime you use a beauty blender, I feel like you shear out your foundation a little bit just because it's a sponge. I mean, it does what a sponge does. It soaks up a little bit of the product. But I just feel like I get such a smoother application versus using a brush. I have foundation brushes, and there are certain ones that I actually prefer using a brush with. Just depends on the foundation, but I do just love the way that this looks with a beauty blender. It does shear it out a little, but that's okay. Like, I have skin. That's not a secret. So We'll go ahead and move on to concealer. I do put a little bit of concealer on my nose. Little trick that I learned from Raw Beauty Christy. Never even considered that keeping foundation on my nose was a widespread issue. I just thought that I wasn't using the right foundation. For my concealer, I've started pouncing it in with my fingers just because my concealer, I do want full coverage. Oh, and I'm sorry, I use the ColourPop No Filter concealer. I am now going to go in with that Laura Mercier setting powder that I got in my very first Allure Beauty box as kind of a thank you for signing up. And I'm just applying a light bit of powder on areas that I end up losing foundation throughout the day. Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of smoke out that under eye just a little bit. And instead of going in with a shimmer to smoke that out, I actually want to use kind of the same shade but without the shimmer, which is Inside Job. So it's this dark green right here, no shimmer. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my brush and I just want to kind of smoke out that under eye a little bit. Okay, awesome. And then just to kind of finish off the look, I do want to highlight the inner corners of my eye. So I am going to take a little bit more of that shimmery silver power cut, and I'm just going to highlight the inner corners of my eyes. Whenever I do that, I do tend to take it up into the upper lid just a little bit. All right, so with our eyes done and our base done, I think that we can move on to some bronzer. So today I'm going to be using the Christopher Buckle bronzing palette. I got it forever ago. I've hit pan on both of my bronzers. I don't even know if you can get it anymore. Okay. For blush today, we are going to go into that Madison Miller Ofra collab blush palette. And I just think that this really peachy pink color is going to complement that dark green really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. And for highlighter, I'm going to use one out of this Wishes Come True Sephora palette. My sister bought this for me. It was one of the first palettes I ever got for Christmas one year. And it's real cute. It just has a handful of almost like perfect New Year's Eve colors. And I just really like the two highlighters in the bottom of it. One of them's are a little bit cooler than the other. So I'm going to go ahead and use Nighttime Glow to get our face looking a little glowy. I'm just going to take a pinch of that blush and kind of go back over some of this highlight. I'm all talking about how I like that highlighter because it's not beaming, and then what do? Make my face beam. I think that's a little bit better, a little bit less whoa. Okay, so we're going to go in with the Makeup Revolution eyebrow pencil. It's that dual-ended spoolie pencil, my favorite. I'm going to go ahead and go over them just a little bit with some of that Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel that I got in my last Allure Beauty box. So today for liquid liner, the label is worn off because I use this almost daily. This is the Essence Waterproof Liner Pen. I just feel like because it has a pretty short tip, you have so much control over what's happening. Okay, I think that's pretty good with the Essence liner. Now I'm going to get the liner out of the magnetic lashes set, and I'm going to do a pretty thick line with that. It does have to dry down completely before use. So for mascara today, a long time ago in a Sephora like birthday gift, I did receive a sample of the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. So I'm going to use that today to get my eyelashes prepped. Okay, and I'm definitely missing something on my waterline. So I think today we are going to smoke it up even further by using the Essence Extreme Lasting Waterproof Eye Pencil. It claims to be 16-hour wear. I'm using the color Black Love. And I have to say that this is probably one of the most impressive eye pencils I've ever used. I am really sad I'm running low already because I just obsessively use this pencil. It's a couple of dollars on Ulta. It's really inexpensive and it really does last all day. I've never had an eye pencil last so well on my waterline. Let's go ahead and do our lips before we try to put anything on this lash line. So for lips today, we are going to go with a sample I received in a Sephora beauty box. This is a matte stain by YSL in a color that I cannot pronounce. So I will take a picture of this as well and link it into the video so you guys can see what the color is. It's this beautiful kind of rosy color. I've used this product before and I just think it sits so beautifully on the skin. So, on the skin, sits so beautifully on the lips. Let's go ahead and put on our setting spray. I'm going to use the Milani Make It Last Matte Setting Spray. It is a charcoal setting spray. All right, let's see how that liner is doing. I don't know, still feels kind of tacky. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them on. All right, you guys, I think that this is the finished look. So our halo eye using the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collab Dark Magic palette and the She's Got Solstice Color Pop palette. I think it came out really beautifully. I'm loving the way that these lashes kind of pull everything together. Thank you so much for joining me today for this video. I had a lot of fun creating this look. And just as a reminder, keep a lookout for the tutorial on heatless curls. Hopefully that will come out soon if this works out for us. We didn't exactly do it the way we were supposed to. So look out for that video as well. If you are new, thank you so much for coming today to this video. And please like, subscribe, and share this video with individuals that you think might appreciate the content. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for joining me on yet another adventure, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye!